You are about to enter a layer of reality not measured by time or distance, but by perception. It begins with a thought, a flicker in the mind, and opens into a space where logic bends. This is not the future. This is not the past. This is the echo between awake and sleep. Welcome to ZONED.
Okay, Edison, I got a question for you. What does this stand for?
That's the name of my company in Chinese. It says 凝结集团. So it's CLOT. CLOT Incorporated.
So this is CLOT.
Yeah.
That's your logo?
Yeah. When I signed to Adidas, actually, I started working with Adidas a couple of years ago. And they asked me, what is it that you want to do here? And I showed them this shoe, photoshopped, right? And they finally let me do the shoe that I really wanted to do. So I'm really excited to meet you and just ask you a few questions, you know?
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure.
You grew up in California, yeah?
Pasadena, just up the road.
Is there certain places in California that are special to you?
You know, I started playing at Pasadena High School when this group of parents organized the Pasadena Tennis Patrons. And we would practice every Saturday morning at Pasadena High School, and the courts were kind of a pinkish beige court. It wasn't traditional, with a hard wire net. I don't know if you've ever seen a tennis court with a hard wire net, but just a number of wires, you know, that make the net, and they last forever.
Wow.
So it was a public high school, and it's where I went to high school. And we would practice there every day. Pancho Segura, who's from Beverly Hills, from here, drove over there every Saturday and coached us for 4 hours. And then we would have a thing called Each One Teach One, which is from 12 to 1, we would teach beginners.
Oh, wow.
So it gave us two things: an opportunity to learn how to teach, and secondly, to give back, because we were getting this help for 4 hours. And so that was when I really got serious about the game. I was around age 15 or so. And
Are those courts still there?
the courts are still there. The Los Angeles Tennis Club, which is not too far from here,
Yep.
was where I went my senior year in high school. I went there every day and practiced there, because that was the mecca, the hub of tennis in Southern California. Some of the great players of all time, Don Budge and Maureen Connolly, or they played out of this, Pancho Gonzalez and Dennis Ralston. And then I went to USC, and USC practiced there at the Los Angeles Tennis Club.
Oh, okay.
So I spent really 5 years at the Los Angeles Tennis Club. So that was very important. And then we had tournaments in San Diego, and which is La Jolla, where I met my wife.
Nice.
And then in Santa Barbara was another place that was the first tournament I ever won was in Santa Barbara.
You know, I was really interested in understanding how the shoe came about.
In 1965, Horst Dassler, who was Adi Dassler's son.
Yep.
So Adi Das got the name from Adi Dassler, made into Adi Das. He and a guy named Robert Hayet, who was the #1 French player in the late 50s, 60s, designed the very first leather tennis shoe. So before that, we wore canvas shoes. And so this was the very first leather shoe ever made by those two guys, designed by those two guys, and it was born in France. And then in 71, 72, Adidas wanted to get a stronger presence in the US market. And I was the American #1 player in the world at the time. And so we had an arrangement where they wanted to put like a hang tag on the shoe.
Yeah.
And my agent and we talked about, well, let's have my picture on the shoe and my signature. That was one of the first shoes that had a name. And in my documentary, this lady says even Michael Jordan doesn't have his picture on his shoe.
No, yeah.
And so that was one of the first with pictures. But then they came up, Laver had a shoe, and Ilie Nastase, and then later Edberg and Lendl had shoes with their pictures on it, names on it. But it was one of the first shoes that we that had the names on it.
The photo on the shoe, right? Is Is it like
It's
at that
a-
moment, was that like the photo that you're like, yes, this is me?
No, it was a funny story because for about 55, 60 years now, I've had a mustache.
Uh-huh.
And for about 6 months, I didn't have a mustache. And that's when I signed with Adidas. And they took the photograph. So the photograph is without a mustache.
Yeah.
There's kind of a shadow under the nose, over the lips that kind of, disguise a little bit. But it's really a photograph without the mustache. But that's how it started. And it's never changed.
One of my favorite designers, her name is Phoebe Philo.
Ah.
And she holistically wears the Stan Smiths. So that is added to my love to the shoe. And it's almost like, the moment, right? So for you, has there ever been anyone that you wore the shoe, that wore your shoe, and you're like, this is a moment?
Well, Phoebe Philo was really the one that kind of got it going. She was on the runway after a show and was wearing the shoe. But then a lot of people have worn the shoe. Pharrell Williams, I got to know him, and he has been working with Adidas, but he wore the shoe early on, and the Beastie Boys apparently wore the shoe. That was interesting, but it's fun to see. There's Secretary of State George Shultz was wearing my shoe one time. We were at the White House, and we were playing on the White House court. And he said, "My doctor told me those are the best shoes for me for my foot condition." I said, "That's amazing." And then of course we've seen photographs of Obama, and then what's been fun is to see people wearing the shoe when they're obviously not getting paid. And we had a funny thing happen in New York. We went to a play, and there was a little girl about 13 years old, and she was wearing my shoes, and my wife went over to her and said, "Do you know who Stan Smith is?" And she says, "No, I mean, it's on your shoe." She looks at the shoe, and she looks at the photograph. She looks at me. She looks at the photograph. She looks at me. She said, "No, it's not him." And then she got on her phone. And her mother was there, and they looked at it, and they saw the more recent photograph, and then she came over and she wanted my autograph. And
That's cool. That's cool.
They liked the shoe, and those are some special moments.
Thank you for your time, and thank you for all the inspiration you've given me personally. And Stan.
Well, thank you for doing this with the shoe. And the shoe. It looks pretty neat. You've done a great job with it. And
You approve? Do you approve?
I do approve. Yeah, I do approve. It's you still can see the profile. You still know it's my shoe, but it's unique, and it's pretty cool.
Thank you.
Good job.
What's up, everybody? This is EDC. Welcome to Creative Review, live from Aries Arise in London. We're here at the CLOT Country Club to present the Stan Smith collection by yours truly, EC. I'm gonna get straight into it. This is the bag that we have designed, and something that I actually really love about this bag is that inside there's pockets on pockets on pockets and pockets. So if you know me, actually, I carry everything with me. So they call it, I have the Doraemon bag, because if you get hurt, I got the Band-Aid. If you have a headache, I got the pills. I got everything in there. All right, so this bag was designed with that in purpose, to have different compartments. This is like a gardening bag, which is very in theme with Wimbledon and the grass. So this bag is my go-to. I'm gonna be rocking this bag all day. For the Stan Smith collection, I think I'm very happy about the footwear. We're continuing the Espadrille narrative. This time, actually, what's really interesting is that we have two renditions. One is the classic Stan Smith, and we decided to keep it very clean and mostly logoless. The logos are tonal embroideries. And this one, lifestyle version, where it has a collapsible heel for the people that like to wear shoes like me, like slippers. These two pairs of footwear are going to be releasing in the Stan Smith capsule. I really mess with these. These are the shoes that I wanted to make when I signed with Adidas, and finally, I got the opportunity to. So the apparel actually is an extension of all of the stuff that we've been creating with Adidas. So the aesthetic, the knits, the crochets, the bowling shirts, the half and halves. This is the shorts, and the shorts this time are extra kind of, they have some kind of hand knit, hand woven feel, and continuing our crochet knit narrative. They look heavy, but they're actually really, really good. I wore these in the Mediterranean and I didn't feel hot and I felt really cool. These are the shorts, the bowling shorts we call them. Something that we wanted to do was have it feel yin-yang feel. So if you see some of the stuff that we made before, the panels are always mismatched and multicolored. So this is a Wimbledon Stan Smith colorway. As you can see, I'm wearing the hat, and the hat has a chenille patch on it with the C to represent CLOT. And these actually are my favorites of the collection. Crochet knit tops, obviously inspired by Stan Smith colorways and the Wimbledon green. These stripes actually very prevalent in a lot of the places that I've been to vacation. So in Positano to Mallorca to even the Beverly Hills Club. You can find these colorways, and I felt that this is very vacation mode. As I said about the shorts, they're still very comfortable and still very breathable for summer weather. This shirt is actually my favorite. I've been rocking this so much that my wife is telling me that I have to wear new clothes. So that's why today I'm wearing this CLOT UK tee. This knit top worn by Blondie in the ad is also a very interesting piece. Continuing on the knit shorts, there's a little bit of like hand knit feel. There's a little bit of fringe to add a little bit of flavor to the outfit. And most of our pieces here have this metal Adidas logo on it to add a little bit of luxurious feel to the garments. And this is the bowling shirt. So the bowling shirt, just like the shorts on the trims, there's actually this zigzag embroidery. When it doesn't have the metal trim, it has the Adidas CLOT logo filled with 2 lines. Why is it 2 lines? Sooner or later you'll find out. Hopefully we graduate to 3 lines. So these are the socks that we designed for the Stan Smith capsule. The inspiration came from seeing a lot of schoolgirl socks in Japan. I liked the way that they drape, added shape with the footwear. So this is designed for females. I also wear female clothes sometimes, so it's unisex, but it adds a little bit of playfulness to the outfit. If you wear from head to toe, the outfit look less serious. This right here is really, really lightweight. It feels like you're wearing nothing. None of the fabrics that you see on any of the CLOT Adidas stuff is stock fabric. It is specially made for you guys to wear. And you know, Stan Smith shouts. Check the commercial out. We got a lot of really talented people supporting this collection, and hopefully you will too. See you next time. Hey Hoyeon, how you doing?
Doing bad.
Why?
Why
no,
bad? Kidding.
Because you're here with me?
Yeah, I mean, I'm
man,
having
sorry.
fun. No.
Well, let's talk about something that you do like. You like movies, right?
No, I hate it. No kidding.
We messed up doing the research.
Yes, I love watching movies. Hi, Edison.
Hey,
nice
Hoyeon,
to
how
meet
you doing?
you.
Yeah, you doing good? You doing good this time?
Yeah.
This time you're doing
I'm good.
Okay,
yeah.
good. I did a little bit of research and found out that you actually really like to watch movies, right? And like all different types of movies, art house movies, mainstream movies, and obviously you're an actress. What have you watched recently that really moved you or that you really liked?
I cried so hard when I watched an animation movie called Flow. It's about like different type of animal traveled with just one boat because of this like a big nature things happen. Yeah, it was quite beautiful. The story of it, it's like all the different type of personality, like animals, like at the beginning, they're kind of like hate each other, but through the journey, they kind of like gathering, working together to survive. And yeah, I don't know why, it was just so emotional and everything was just like, it feels like real. Like, even though it was just like animation movie. And at the end, when I kind of cried, I don't know even like exactly why I'm crying, but yeah, it was very kind of like, I don't know, maybe it's because of cat.
Because you love cats, right?
Yeah, because I love cat, but like, I think the kind of the lesson that the movie gave us was like very kind of touching, like in this generation where like, so many different types of like cultures, like we get to know so many information all at once in such a short amount of time. But I feel like it's supposed to be good to have that much information, but on the other side, sometimes like they're kind of arguing that because we are different.
Yeah, you got to choose what to do with your information.
Yeah.
And,
but at the end, we just all won in front of this big nature, and we have to learn, like, live together, like survive together with this like huge, in front of this huge nature. I mean, like, not only for kids, I think so many adults would love it. Like, I went to the theater with my 2 friends who's like 40-something years old. They cried so hard together. We were like, oh my gosh, we kind of feel kind of embarrassed, but like, it was so good.
So what's your favorite movie of all time?
That's a difficult question to answer.
Do you have a favorite comfort movie that you can, like, if you're having a bad day or you're feeling down, you go home and you like put this movie on and you like giggle and feel good?
I think yes. I like Christmas kind of vibe movies.
Elf?
No, like Home Alone.
Oh, great.
Yeah,
I love that movie.
Could be the one. And also Love Actually it could be the one. What else? I like animation movies a lot.
So what's your favorite animation movie then?
I would say Flow for now.
Wow.
Yeah, because of it's like really kind of touching. But
You know,
like
there's a movie that I'm going to recommend you to watch. It's called Interstellar 5555. It's a Daft Punk.
Interstellar
Yeah, it's a so Daft Punk did all the music, and there's no talking in the movie, and it's all an animation, and their music tells the story. So you have to go watch that and tell me what you think.
Okay.
I have one last question for you.
Okay.
Which do you think is better, Squid Game season 1 or season 2?
Oh wow. You are so bad. Like, you are so mean.
Yeah, I'll tell you, season 1 all day.
Oh.
Season 1 all day.
I would go with season 1
Hell yeah.
because of my minute.
May I ask, what is going on here?
Who are these members?
Silence on the court.
Allô? Ah oui, what's that?
He's going to lose it.
Something's playing up here.
Come on, I told you to pit me.
Here, we have strict rules we must follow.
But not everyone was made to follow them.